2013 US Open. It's not Serena Williams' fault she's so good. S&W News Commentary Athlete's Life in Action. Search. Video. Subscribe email. ESPN.com. View more. Submit. Subscribe to the newsletter videos like terms ESPN. News commentary is greater than tennis. Can't blame Serena for her dominance. Tweet. By Melissa Isaacson vertical bracket September 7, 2013 S&W. Serena Williams beat Lena in straight sets to advance to the US Open final. New York and it's hard to blame Serena Williams. It's not her fault Maria Sharapova hasn't played her competitively since 2008. And Williams is not to blame that, when she uncharacteristically loses early in a Grand Slam, as she did in the fourth round aberration at Wimbledon this year, the result is a dreadful final in which the player who beat her, Sabine Lisicki, admittedly seized up with fear, while the eventual champion, Marion Bartley, never had to play a top 10 seed and was in a state so broken down that she retired soon after. Mike Stobe/Usta/Getty Images. What can she do? It's not Serena's fault that she's steering through opponents. It won't be Williams' responsibility if Victoria Azarenka fails to lift her play in the US Open final Sunday beyond what she has demonstrated the last 2 weeks, and Williams crushes her for another championship stinker. But how badly does women's tennis need Azarenka to come through and at least be competitive, as she was in last year's final, when Williams pulled out a 6-2, 2-6, 7-5 thriller? And is Williams' dominance more a detriment than a blessing for women's tennis? Again, hard to criticize Williams for being great. Her play at 31 years old is by many standards more magnificent than ever, the combination of power and athleticism now enhanced by her expert shot-making and overall experience. She will be going after her 16th Grand Slam title Sunday and enters the final having lost fewer games, 16, than she has in any other Grand Slam title match. If that's boring, one might argue, then so is Tiger Woods at his best. But then Tiger Woods doesn't win by making his competition look bad. What Azarenka's presence in the final promises is not merely number 1 versus number 2 but an opponent for Williams who is not likely to be intimidated, who has the mental strength to compete for 3 sets and who has the physical strength to survive it and even prevail. While Williams leads in their head-to-head series, 12-3, Azarenka has won 2 of their last 3 matches, 2 on hard court, including last month's final in Cincinnati, 2-6, 6-2, 7-6, 6. In last year's US Open final, Williams had 45 enforced errors, as she dropped her first set of the tournament, and yet Azarenka also pushed her to come up with 44 winners, many of the spectacular variety. It was the first time in 17 US Opens that the women's final went 3 sets, which is amazing in itself but just another sign that only the toughest of competitors, both mentally and physically, will win in New York and that there are not an abundance of potential candidates in any given year. Indeed, perhaps most impressive for Azarenka was that after dropping the opening set in just 34 minutes, she fought back and dominated the second, then led 5-3 in the third. Matthew Stockman/Getty Images. Azarenka has won 2 out of the last 3 matches against Williams. Here's hoping she's competitive on Sunday. But Azarenka was with 2 points of the championship, before Williams reeled off 4 games in a row. She has to do better, and Williams didn't doubt she would. I definitely feel like, when she plays me she plays her best, by far, said Williams. I have seen her play other players, and when I play her I'm playing a totally different player. Obviously she brings her best game, yeah. Again, not the best endorsement for the number 2 ranked player in the world or for women's tennis. Don't be surprised Sunday if Azarenka gets off to a slow start. Typically, she takes a while to get used to Williams' power early in their matches but her most successful tactic is when she absorbs the pace and returns the ball deep to Williams' feet, so that